This is a new horse that just came in to be started. Looks a lot like that halter horse that came in, but it's not. It's a different horse. This one's name is Zala. Put bridle on her. I've started. This isn't the first horse that I've started from this owner. And she usually does good groundwork before the horse comes. So I have a really good idea what to expect, which is really nice. Bridle's pretty big on her. I have to shorten it up a little bit. This is the first time that I've worked her. She came in on Friday and today's Monday. The owner told me that she's been saddled a few times. So I'm gonna saddle her like she has been saddled a few times. I'm sure she has. I've talked in several videos. I want most of my grooming to be after the horse has worked, especially on these younger horses. Older horses too, to an extent, but mainly on these younger ones. That was kind of interesting how she was kind of leaning over that way. Because I want the rinsing and the grooming after I'm done to be a reward for work. Reward for work well done. She wasn't paying attention and she looked around and that pad surprised her. Paying attention now? Trying to climb in my pocket. So this roping saddle is pretty heavy. This is the saddle that I like to start everybody in. So as long as it fits, as long as it fits, that's the saddle I go with first on these horses that I'm starting. I'm a little more comfortable in it if the horse acts up. She could have stood a little better for me to put it on her. Pay attention over here. That's one thing kind of really important right there. That was a small thing. But she was looking off to the left, and I knew I was just about to move the saddle pad around on this side. I wanted to make sure she was paying attention over here. I didn't want what I was doing to surprise her. If I was to surprise her and she spooked, and she's not paying attention to what I'm doing on my side, she could spook into my space. I want to make sure she's aware of what we're doing and nothing surprises her. Actually has a pretty decent sized heart girth. This is the adjustment I put on a lot of these young horses, and it's almost could go down a hole on the other side for her. Now once I start tightening this saddle, I need to be able to get it tight enough that no matter what she does, it's going to stay on. I can't let her run off bucking and get loose from me and it not be tight enough to stay on. That's asking for a wreck. She's paying attention over there again. Needs to be paying attention to me and my side over here. Attach one of these lines to her. I want to make sure that when I ask her to move her feet forward, if she starts to buck, I can keep her going around me and give enough room that she's not going to kick me in the process that she's bucking. Back's bowed up a little bit, but not too bad. Don't come into my space. See, she's trying to come into my space. I don't want her to just buck and then come to me for help. That's not a good position to be in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come over here, get my lunge whip, back up, so that I can keep her out of my space. And go this way. Saddle's bouncing like that because she has her back rolled up a little bit. That's not because it don't fit. She has her back bowed up. When she relaxes her back, saddle's going to be totally different. Move. She kind of leaves and forgets me, and then when I make contact on the lunge line, she's like, oh, you're over there, and when I pull, she stops instead of just keep going around me. Let's try going the other way. Not into my space. That's what she wanted to do all along. Come on, go. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. So I typically don't want a horse to buck when they're first saddled, but I'm not going to pull her to a stop when she's bucking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send her forward. She moves forward, she's going to quit bucking. And if I was to stop her, pull her to a stop, if that went on very long, what could happen is that she could learn to buck so that I would ask her to stop. Good girl. Go forward. I'll probably try a different saddle on her next time. See if it fits her better. I think when she relaxes her back, this one's going to be fine. You can see she still kind of has her hips underneath her, kind of bunched up a little bit. We need to keep going forward. Nope, not to me. Not to me. Forward. Not to see how when I crack the whip, she comes to me. That has to change. She's trying to come to me. Right now, I think she's coming to me because she don't really understand. I don't want her coming to me as a way to not do what I'm asking her to do. Go. 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 There you go. Go. There we go. Good girl. So she gets distracted on the outside, send her forward. She wants to buck, send her forward. She wants to come to me, send her forward. The answer to just about everything when you're teaching more than the lunge is to send them forward. Send her forward. Video a while back, I talked a lot on ass-tail demand. That was that colt that was pretty dangerous and wanted to come into my space and hurt me. She really don't want to hurt me. I'm going to give her a little bit more leeway on the demand. Not going to be quite as hard on her because she's not trying to hurt me. But I still am going to use that ass-tail demand structure. Just not going to be as hard on her as I was on him. She just don't know. He was willfully trying to hurt me. Big difference there. If it takes her a couple of extra days to figure this out, because she don't know, it's not a big deal. It's just a couple of extra days. If I let that go on with him, he was going to end up hurting me if I didn't go ahead and establish the ass-tail demand to begin with. That's the big difference between a horse like him and a horse like her. Now, like, if she was to start acting like she wanted to kick me or pin her ears at me, then I would change that. Right now, the worst thing she's trying to do is just try to not work so hard, which I need work, but I'm not really going to punish her hard for that. Just give me what I ask. Ask her to stop. Now, what I want to do now is get her started learning what she's going to need to learn to ground drive. I want her to learn to stand still while I'm swinging this rope around her feet. If you saw the video I did where I was starting ground driving with Myrna, she was overly reactive to this. So what I did with her, I handled it a little bit different way. Raven, let's go swap her and Red around. The mare out there causing the trouble in Red. Nope, don't bump into me. Didn't really respect my space there. Bumped into me. That needs to get better. Let's go back to around her feet. Now I need to get her ready to drive, and for that to happen, I need to get it behind her back legs and her following her nose. Not paying attention to me very good. Typically, when a young horse is not paying attention to me, my first go-to is to put a little bit more pressure on them. Because if I'm not putting enough pressure on them that they're worried about what I'm doing, enough to pay attention to me, then they can handle more pressure. There's going to be exceptions to that, but that's my general rule. Okay, good girl. So that was following her nose to the right. Back up a little bit. Let's have her follow her nose to the left. When I throw the rope over their back for the first time, a lot of times it spooks them. You saw her kind of spook a little bit the first time. I want to make sure I'm not standing here, I'm standing up here, so that they have an out that's not running over me. Good girl. Let's go over and get the lead rope. So that's going to be it for her for today. I'm going to go ahead and unsaddle her out here. I haven't worked her enough to unsaddle her in the wash rack yet. So we'll unsaddle her out here. Then I'll take her in there and I'll rinse her off. All right, so now let's go rinse her off. Come on. Come on. Notice I still have the bridle on. I'm not going to take it off till we get in here. This is the first time she's been in my wash rack here. I'm not going to take a step back. Let's go in a circle. Come on. Don't want to get in a fight with her here. Oh, back in here. If she's wanting to leave, I'm just going to circle her back around. She might be a little bit worried of him. He ain't going to bother her. He just wants to visit. Back here. All right, so let her stand right here just a second. Take the bridle off. See how she's pushing forward on me? I need to work on her back up some, but I'm not going to get in a fight and work it right here, right this second. I'll ask her to back up. There's things that I can do to work that. I'm not going to get in a fight with it here. I'm sure she's been bathed before. I know her owner. I've worked other horses from her owner, and I am sure she has bathed this horse. I don't know what the deal is lately with all these horses coming in with these weird names. This one is Zala. I don't think I'm smart enough to keep up with all these names. I used to call all the horses by their owner's name. I'm not very good with names. And when I call them by their owner, you're going to walk back? We'll work on that another time. When I call them by their owner's name, that helped me remember the owner's name. Because I'm terrible with names. But the owner started sending me a couple of horses, and it would have been like Taylor 1, Taylor 2. So I started calling them by their name, the horse's name. See how she's starting to relax here in the wash rack? That makes the wash rack a little bit nicer place to be. Let her realize this is a nice place to be. Understand what happens here. And she'll learn to appreciate it and not fight me to come in here. So there's no reason to get into a fight with her right now, but because she's going to learn to want to be here anyway. All right, let's get the sweat scraper back here. You gonna come with me? So now she's walking further in here on her own, turning around a little nicer. All because I didn't fight with her, and I gave her a chance to understand what this was. Not a perfect grooming job, but she'll get used to the idea of what's going on here, and it'll get better and better. So this is Zala. This is the first time that I've worked her. I'll be showing more videos of her and show you her progress getting her started under saddle. Oop, oh, don't bump into me. She bumped into me, I'm not going to stop. She's got to move her feet. Will not accept a horse bumping into me under any circumstances, no matter how scared they are. That's just asking for a wreck. So this is Isla. I'll be posting more videos of her. Until next time, thank you for watching.